Hello and good evening, everyone. This is Peter Niano from Nairobi, Kenya, and coming to you live on this live podcast number 56 on my side. The day has been good. It's an evening hour this side. And want to thank every TBC member, wherever you are. Thank you for joining TBC. Let's work together and build the community together. So just wanted to go straight to the blog and get to read and have an understanding of what's happening. Now, I'm going to share the screen. Then allow me to go to the dashboard. Now, TBC is an acronym of the billion coin, which is a digital currency, and it is built on the principle of abundance, as contrary to the fiat currencies we all know, which is built the principle of scarcity. So just want to check together, especially on the blog, and let me touch something. If you want to enroll somebody in your, you can copy your referral link, which is still down at the dashboard, or you can go to the marketing, and then go to referral link, and then you copy, and then you send to your potential clients, so they can click to that link and be able to get a form where they can sign up and become the members of TBC. Now, let me go to the blog and see what's happening in TBC. As you can see, there will be send button, English send button meeting today, which will start soon. That will start at 6 p.m. East African time, but it will be 7 a.m. PT time. 7 a.m. PT time. So in a matter of like 26 minutes, the send button meeting will be starting, and it is good for all of us to be able to join. So the meeting, let me open, it says February 11th, 2019, meeting starts soon, posters, strong notice, strong article, Facebook post. It says don't miss send button live broadcast. Randy Wilson will be hosting. It says Monday, February 11, 2019, billions of digital currency will be distributed by the end of May 2019. Show up and collect up to 1 million cookies. The send button keyword will only be one word. Inside your Kringle Cashback Office, cookie rewards redemption, the billion coin, Kringle.cash. So TBC leader Randy Wilson will be hosting the send button live broadcast on Monday, right, 11/29 at 7 a.m. PT time. If you do not have a send button on, you are not allowed into the meeting. For those of you who do have a send button, do not share this link with anyone else. The link will be available at 6:45 a.m. PT on Monday, February 11th, said Kringle Cash back office. The meeting starts promptly at 7 a.m. Show up and collect up to 1 million cookies. So what is TBC confidential? I can't tell you. You will need to attend send button meeting to find out. So what is TBC confidential? So you'll be able to know when you attend this send button meeting. Host, I'd like to bring some clarity to why admin and the type of blockchain we use are unknown. Short answer is security is very expensive. TBC is rolling out and not fully developed at this time, yet is highly functional today. The admin fee is ridiculously low to keep the barrier to entry into the TBC community very low. We are on a mission to help the poor rise out of poverty. So we have kept the cost down as much as possible to run a sustainable operation. Remaining unknown reduces of attacks so that we can continue to grow organically. As funds grow, so will our tech and admin structure. And with enough funds, high levels of security can be put into place. We are self-funded operation on the 4 grains admin fee. We are debt-free, we are self-regulated, we are private. Scarcity is artificial. Come live life of abundance video. So you can check that video. And here it says, do you feel that you were born with a meaningful purpose and that the current world system has held you back from being able to fulfill it? Isn't that evil? Yes, you should take it personally. Also within this free will universe, doesn't it upset you that you have been tricked into agreements with the evil elite where full disclosure is required and they hide the terms of those agreements in plain sight from you? As a result, even your silence is considered consent to be bound by those agreements. It's not fair, especially when you consider how self-destructive these agreements are to you. This has been a critical week as far as your education goes. So I hope you have been watching these videos on the blog. Why do the global elite hide the truth in plain sight? So there is a video here showing that. Do you really agree to be pulled into one world government? Isn't a plan to depopulate the earth by up to 90% pure evil? That number includes you after all. That's evil. So there's so much information here. You can be able to understand if you read. So if you haven't studied the transhumanism agenda of the elite, you better do so now. The worst possible prison you could experience would be your own body while others completely control it and you can't stop them. Transhumanism is the main objective of the one world government agenda. Transhumanism. They have an agenda of what you call transhumanism as its main objective. So when you watch this video, you'll be able to understand why a one world government new world order is a very bad idea for humanity. That's a poster. So you can see in this poster, domination stroke control, wealth resources, The arrow is showing dollars going up, and then the other side, domination to control coming down, people, planet, and all living things. Inside different flags, organization, companies, and all that you can see. So to show that these ideas is coming to try to control the human error. So the year is 2019, and here we stand at the cusp of a great change globally. The financial system known by the previous 5 generations is in its final stages of total collapse. Upon its final breath, humanity could be facing its darkest hour. Some have worked vigorously towards a global financial reset to provide a soft landing within this transition from completely fiat-based system back to a gold-backed system. Within this brief window of change comes the opportunity for the ruling class elite to firmly establish their new world order of a one world government. This is a warning to all of humanity. The elite must fail now to set up a one world government, because if they succeed, it will be the end of freedom. It will be the end of freedom. So there is an explanation in this video, which was aired by Randy last week. So if you go through it, you'll be able to learn. Most of humanity today has a reasonable amount of freedom. Yet the fiat-based system has enslaved humanity to debts, debts in large part that were not incurred by the individuals. All of the governments have created vast debts over the last 100 years, and their citizens are expected to carry those debts. So while most of us are free to choose our professions, free to raise a family as we see fit, and free to travel to a certain degree, the burden of these debts weigh down on us and have a very negative impact on our lives. These debts could be the excuse used by the elite to start a global war when the plug is pulled on the entire banking system. What will the people do when all of the banks are closed? How will companies be able to operate without access to the bank? What happens when paper money suddenly becomes worthless? How long can humanity sustain itself in such a dark time? The elite have planned this scenario for a very long time, and they have planned to introduce a one-world government as the solution. How would one world government impact the freedoms you enjoy today? So one world government is a very bad idea. Recent bank ISP outages smell the coffee. That's another video. So a short answer to that question is that ultimately it would completely destroy your freedom as you know it. It would lead to every aspect of your life being controlled by government. A government that puts its own interest above the rights of the individual. Total slavery. Why? Why would a one world government lead to a total slavery? The answer is because of nature. The nature of government is force. Governments are run by men, people. So what is the nature of man? Many things have changed over thousands of years, but the nature of man has remained the same. When it comes to man, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. that sums up the nature of man. The few that rule the world today do so in the shadows and therefore don't have complete and absolute power and control. They have great influence, but that is it. Power is broken and divided between many nations and peoples. There is ongoing conflict between these nations as they each struggle for greater power in the world. This is a necessary friction that allows freedom to survive. The more friction there is, the more freedom exists. Power struggles are very important. A one-world government would be the end of the power struggle. We, the people, outnumber the few ruling class elite by at least 1,000,000 to 1. We do have the power to overcome the elite and their evil plans. Almost 250 years ago, a new kind of freedom was born when the American colonists declared their independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain. These colonists won the Revolutionary War and set up a republic under a constitution. The constitution separated the powers of government into 3 branches, which allowed friction to occur between these separate branches as each seeks greater power over the others. Before this kind of government has formed, most governments had total power over its people and ruled with an iron fist. Consider the known history of the last 5,000 years. Why has there been more technological advancement and progress for mankind in the last 200 years over the previous 5,000 years? Simple. Freedom has allowed mankind to advance that were inconceivable before. When government is busy fighting with itself, it allows the people to enjoy freedom. Constitutional type governments have spread all over the world since the American Revolutionary War, and the result has been greater freedom. This is a much better world to live in today compared to 200 years ago and before. One world government would quickly return humanity to live under an iron fist of tyranny. Freedom would disappear from earth. We all must resist the deception that is coming that a one world government will solve all of the problems we face today. Yes, the current financial system is collapsing, and there are no guarantees that a global reset will result in a smooth landing for us in this transition. TBC offers an alternative. The faster we build to a billion members, the better, because the world is changing fast. Uneducated billion people working together to spread the message about the truth of abundance on earth with a currency of its own is a real solution. A solution that should lead to even greater freedom. The elite have hidden the truth in plain sight on how we can defeat them, as usual in the movies. So you watch that movie, you'll be able to see how it is. TBC is the fulfillment of this solution. Let's stand together, 1 billion strong. Buck's life movie tells us exactly how we can free ourselves from the control of this evil elite ruling the world today. Funnier, they made a cartoon out of the solution that will work, but who will be laughing at who in the end? Watch Bugs Life movie. Okay, so Life Bugs movie. This one, if you watch Bugs Life, you'll be able to see how the elite were defeated. Head Grasshopper elite confronted on camera. So Lord Jacob Rothschild confronted. So you can watch this video and be able to get the information. The head grasshopper is absolutely afraid of us and doesn't want the masses to wake up and see how old and weak they are in the elite. Violence will not work on them, but gathering the masses to just go another way, our own way, will work. We can just step out of their control and their military force will follow us instead. Truly, evil people are so few in number. Remember, they too are bound by the agreements they put into place. So the traps and pits they have set for us, they will fall into instead of us. TBC is complete solution. Embrace all aspects of it. It is short-sighted to only see TBC as a short-term solution to your cash flow needs. TBC gives you many opportunities to grow and personally develop. You do not need to develop the skills of the wealthy, and as we build our very own financial system and economy from the ground up, you will gain those skills. So, millionaire skills poster video. So this is a millionaire mind skills. Think, learn, succeed. Think, learn, succeed. Keep this article handy in your toolbox to share when you come across members of TBC that are either doubtful or seem to be waiting for something to happen fast in TBC before they will get to work on building up TBC. Sure, we need, all of us, we need to work hard. We have a place, we have responsibility where we need to play. So if we fail to play, then there'll be gaps within our community. Almost all of the paid members in TBC are either a millionaire or billionaire right now in TBC Kringle coins. So in one sense, TBC has raised your financial status massively. Yet almost all of you have not lifted up your lifestyle to millionaire status, regardless of how many TBC coins you may have. It's time to lift up your lifestyle now. Please put aside all of your preconceived notions about how TBC should work for you and pay close attention to what I will share with you. Millionaires have special skills. Without these skills, a millionaire lifestyle is unlikely. Okay, so this is what is happening in TBC. We have the potential now to grow and be the real billionaire, So that was under the send button. There's a lot of information there which we all need to be reading and to follow. So there's so many information which you can update, or we can update ourselves from the blog and be able to get answers to questions, can be meet or questions people ask when you are promoting TBC. So the only place you can get equipped with information is by listening vlog and be able to ourselves in this. So it's a wonderful experience. So I'm looking forward now to joining the send button meeting, which is about to start in about 4 minutes. So let's all join the meeting and get to learn what our leaders have for us. So get to learn and what our leaders have to learn. So thank you so much for for joining me and for watching this clip. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Amen.